Bad boys, bad boys. What you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? Bad boys, bad boys. What you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? Bad boys.
Wow.
Hey guys, welcome to another edition of Noah on the Road, brought to you by Donley Auto Group. Today we are joined by Mansfield's finest, Police Chief Ken Kuntz and the Assistant Chief Keith Porch. We are driving in a Ford Escape, ironically, with the police department. You want to talk to us a little bit about the car?
Today we're driving in a brand new 2018 Ford Escape. The Ford Escape is loaded with all kinds of equipment like adaptive cruise control, heated leather, and so much more. Lease this vehicle today for as low as $299 a month. See Donley Ford for details.
You know, 2017 has been very interesting, and looking at overall crime, it looks like we're still crunching the numbers, but it looks like that we may have another reduction in overall crime in 2017, which is good. We're still looking at portions of that overall crime, such as violent crime. Violent crime has been a huge concern for us all year. Just some of the brazen personalities that are running loose and causing havoc in the community has created some real concerns for us, and we've made some very aggressive efforts to take some of those people down. You know, recently we had worked with the prosecutor's office, and through the courts and through that prosecution, we were able to get two of our most violent people 27-year sentences, so we were really happy with that.
Oh, that's fantastic. And I know that you guys have done a lot of stuff. If you don't mind me just sort of highlighting some of the stuff that Richland Source was able to cover that you all did. You guys in October had that really big national drug sweep, which was, I think you said, the biggest in your entire tenure, which spans, I believe, 24 years. Is that correct?
Yes.
And you guys made at least 30 suspects were arrested. And, you know, can you just talk to us a little bit about what that means for the getting drugs off Mansfield's streets?
Sure. We're extremely proud of the efforts of our drug task force unit. The Sheriff's Department, Sheriff Steve Shelton's been very instrumental in trying to make sure that we have enough personnel out there. He has kicked in his own personnel. He's getting ready to stick another detective out there. So we're really happy with that. But the detectives have been working extremely hard. We've changed some operational procedures. We sat down, we discussed it with the Police Chiefs Association here in Richland County, talked about some of the changes we wanted to make, and then we went forward and made those changes, and they were great. They have really paid off, and what we've seen was that result was their first efforts with this new operational plan that we're under, and we were able to take down two separate drug trafficking organizations simultaneously. That was a huge feat for us to be able to do that, to dismantle the basically the top 20-ish people in each organization. Through that dismantlement, we were able to federally indict 39 suspects. As of today, 37 of the 39 have been arrested, and there's only 2 that are still outstanding that are fleeing us. And we were very happy to have the U.S. Marshal's Office a partner with locating these people. They do such a phenomenal job.
You know, important to note on that is community involvement with that investigation. You know, it's the community that's calling in to report these suspicious activities within the city of Mansfield and within Richland County. So without partnering with the community, that wouldn't have been as successful it was. And it's always important to note that, you know, people should call in to report suspected drug activity. So we can definitely look into that.
What makes Mansfield such a hotbed for drug trafficking? Why is it that it seems as though a lot of that takes place in Mansfield as opposed to other parts of the country?
I tell you, you know, we're a small community. You know, some people think Mansfield's pretty big, which blows my mind because, you know, over the course of 24 years, you really come to understand how small of a community we are, and I think that it's attractive. One, because it it's the largest city that sits between Cleveland and Columbus. Also, you know, I think it's that small town perspective that, you know, a lot of things can go unreported or unseen, and I think those two things seem to lure people here. I could tell you back in the early 90s, when I first started my career here, we were struggling with the same thing. We had an element of Chicago people here and an element of Detroit people here, and it's been a battle for the last 2.5 decades. I think, Keith, would you say the same thing?
I would agree. Having worked at the Drug Task Force myself and interviewing these people involved in drug trafficking, I was always interested in why folks from Chicago or Detroit or from larger cities would come to Mansfield to set up shop, and it was the same response I would normally get is that these individuals, you know, when you're in Chicago or Detroit, they're very territorial with their areas that they deal drugs, and the murders are so have increased there in the big cities because of the territory of drug dealing, and they feel if they move into smaller communities, they won't have the turf wars as they would in large cities.
Okay, great. And then you guys also got to have a little bit of goofy fun this year. Throughout the year, you had a few cattle that got loose in November, and they roamed 5 miles to the Woodland area. Can you guys just talk to us a little bit about that nightmare for you?
Yeah, you know, the patrol officers did a great job at handling that and working with some community partners. That was definitely one of those odd things that occurred throughout the year.
Do you guys have a lot of stuff that happens there that, I mean, not necessarily livestock being on the loose, but stuff that, I mean, I'm sure you guys show up to work every day not necessarily having your whole day scheduled out.
No, you know, we get the calls throughout the year, you know, stray animals, sick raccoons, you know, possums in somebody's house. On occasion you get, you know, snakes, which is my nightmare, my personal nightmare. I cannot stand snakes. We've handled a few of them, and the experience on the police department with a snake, a lady had called from the north end of town, and she'd gotten home, and there was a box sitting on her front porch, actually at the bottom of her porch, and she went to open the box up, and she seen a snake move in there, so she closed the lid on it, and she called us, and so, of course, myself and another officer showed up, and we're standing back with sticks trying to pop the lid open, and the one guy the other officer was able to pop the lid open on this cardboard box. And as soon as he popped it open, this snake just jumps out and starts moving back and forth.
Oh my gosh.
I jumped up on the step. The lady is screaming. It was quite a sight. I was tiptoeing around, thinking that it was going to crawl out of the box. And then after the thing stopped moving, we realized what it was a piece of foam, that insulation that goes around the outside of a outdoor or window air conditioner, and when you lifted the box off of it, it just kind of sprung into action, scared everybody. We felt stupid and we left. So
Gotcha.
That's my level of terror with snakes.
Gotcha.